Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the frustrating topic of, is it okay to put a project on pause for a while? Everyone has been in this position at some point where they've put so much heart and soul into something, be it writing a book or creating an art project or, anything really, and then decide this isn't quite working for me as much as I thought it was going to. I've put so much time and effort into this. Is it okay to take a step back and put the project on hiatus for a while I work on something different? Am I betraying my work by taking a step back? Is it okay for me to want to take a break? Am I doing myself a disservice by not working on this for a while? Oh, this is the fun bit where the internal bullies start playing with your head. Everyone has different reasons for wanting to put a project on pause. Maybe you're hitting a little bit of a rut, maybe you're hitting writer's block, maybe the creative juices just aren't flowing as much as they should. Maybe you're just getting frustrated with putting so much effort into something that just isn't coming together. Maybe you've had other brand new ideas that you want to explore before returning to this one with a brand new, a fresh pair of eyes. It goes on of why anybody would want to take time away from something that they've already put so much effort into. And there shouldn't be any judgment for that. Honestly, I have taken many a break from projects. I have got so many stories and books that are either half written or half planned out, and then I've decided this isn't working for me quite as much as I thought it was going to. I'm going to take a step back and try something else for a while, and you just keep going until you find that thing that you mesh with. So then by the time you do go back to the project that you put on pause, you have this brand new perspective and this brand new sense of achievement, and you can look at all the things that were going wrong and think, I know how to fix this. It's not a bad thing at all. I could end this video right here. No, it is not a bad thing to want to take time away from projects. I mean, if you have a deadline to meet, then obviously it's a different circumstance, but in general, if you're just not feeling something and you just want to take a breather, then you should be able to do that, because forcing yourself into a creative state when you're just not feeling creative at all, that's really counterproductive, because then you start to resent the project, you start to hate having to sit down to write or draw or whatever. You just think, oh god, it becomes a chore. And if you've started this project for one reason or another, guaranteed it started from a place of genuine creativity and curiosity and a need to get these ideas down. So when it turns into the point of resentment, that's when things start getting really toxic, because it takes something that you love and makes it hurt, and that's not something you want. That takes all the fun out of it, that takes all the creativity out of it, that just takes away your entire purpose for wanting to do it in the first place, and that is not what you want. It is so unhealthy to force yourself into creative situations when you're just not feeling it, because you burn yourself out. There are a few things I've picked up when taking time away from a project that do kind of help in the long run. It's not going to work for anybody, these are just things that have worked for me, so if you want to give them a go, go ahead. If they don't work for you, then I'm sorry, but I've already said this is a me thing. First of all, acceptance. You kind of just have to accept that you can go through all the stages of grief with this one: anger, denial, bargaining, that kind of thing. It's all going to lead to the same place. So acceptance. You kind of need to just accept, okay, this is not working for me. I have other things that I have in my head that I could get started, and just see where it goes. I accept that I may come back to this. I accept that I might not. But for now, I just want to take a little bit of time to see where things go. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start that break, the sooner you can get your head together, the sooner things will start to, the fog will start to clear. Another thing is, do not put a time limit on this break. Do not say, I'm going to take a week away from this and see what happens, because then that is also putting more pressure on yourself. You've accepted that you need to take a break. You've accepted that you are going to take a break. You've accepted that you're going to start something new, but do not put a time limit on it. Don't say in a month's time, I'm going to come back and I'm going to completely own this, because you're giving yourself pressure. You are reminding yourself that this is not a proper break. You are reminding yourself, I still have to go back to this at some point, and that is not going to make you any more motivated to get it done. It is not going to make any more creativity spawn in your minds, and by that point you might have really found your flow with whatever this new project is that you've taken up, and might not want to leave it. So by it forcing yourself to go back within this time limit that you've unnecessarily created for yourself, it adds more pressure, and that is not something you want. Just go with the flow, just see how things come together. If you're really finding your stride with a different project, then run with it all the way as fast as you can, because if you force yourself to stop, then it's just going to stunt you even more. So acceptance, don't put a time limit on it, and this one's a little bit trickier. I've said this before, self-evaluate. If you're really clicking with something else, and you know that you do want to get back to the project that you put on pause for a while, you do want to get back to it at some point, you just don't know when, evaluate. What is it about this new project that is really working for you, and could you incorporate it into the previous project? Could you try and take a few things that you've learnt and put it into the things that you've put on pause? What that could mean anything really. That could mean that you found a different writing style that just works for you. You found a different style or genre that works for you. The list goes on. It's all going to be a personal experience. What have you discovered in this break, in this new project, that you could pass on, that you could pass on to this new project, that you could keep locked away and understand, this is how I work. This is how this is going to work. Because once you find like little bits and pieces, and every project is different, so what works for one project might not work for the other. I'm not saying everything's the same. I'm just saying there are certain quirks that everyone has to help learn in the long run. Self-evaluation is not the nicest term, but it's probably the most accurate term, because you are looking at the way you work and the way you have taken on this new project and seeing what is better, what is worse, what is the same as the old project that's making you want to turn away, but also what's new that you could really hold on to and thrive from it. What is going on here? And probably the hardest one on the list is, do not be too hard on yourself. Everybody needs a break. Everyone needs to take a step back every now and again, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Nobody wants to deal with writer's block or a creative block. No one wants to have that resentment towards something that they're supposed to love. No one really wants to take a break, but everybody needs to take a break. And you shouldn't be too hard on yourself for accepting that something isn't working and that something needs to change. That in itself is a strength that is just completely immeasurable. To know that something isn't right and wanting to fix it or wanting to get better, that acknowledgement is a wonderful thing and can take you to so many new places. You just need to embrace it, I suppose, and understand that this isn't a you thing. This isn't that there's something wrong with you. This isn't that there's something wrong with the project, and this isn't a thing of, oh, well, everybody else is getting this done, why can't I? Everyone's minds work differently, and sometimes you need that break. You need that step back just to feel like you can breathe again. I mean, unless you like burning yourself out into a crisp and then going into some kind of creative hangover where you're nothing but a husk for a while, then, you know, that's up to you. I'm not going to judge, but just saying. If you want to put a project on the back burner, then write down your reasons why. If you're not fully convinced that this is something you should do, that if you're not fully convinced that another project is going to be better for you later down the line, then write a list. Write everything that is frustrating you about this project. Write a list of things that you want to get done, but you just don't know how. Get everything out on paper in front of you, because then it'll act as a visual cue, that so that you can understand, okay, this is where my mind's at. What can I do about it? So then when you do come back to the project later on and you have that list of things that have frustrated you or confused you, you can then evaluate again and be like, okay, this really frustrated me. This was putting me on pause. What have I learned that can change this now? You can go through the list and see if it still frustrates you or if you can improve on it. Things don't stay the same, and that's amazing. Terrifying, but amazing. Story short, is it okay to put a project on pause? Is it okay to take a break from something and start something new? Is it okay to just think, this isn't working for me, I'm gonna see what I can do about it? Is it okay? It is absolutely okay. It avoids burnout, it avoids stress, it avoids so much trouble, and it avoids resentment towards something that you originally loved. Take as many breaks and put as many things on the back burner as you feel is necessary in order for you to thrive mentally and creatively. Just don't beat yourself up about it. Have that acceptance, have that self-evaluation, just all that good stuff. It's going to be okay, and whether you go back to a project or not, you've had the strength to understand when something isn't working for you, and that in itself is something that we can all take on board in any aspect of life. Take those necessary breaks, take that time to yourself, explore new horizons, just go for it. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here before I go on even more rambles. So yeah, I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, my scribblers.